Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. 那我们平常在考托福的时候，很多人的罩门呢就是口说的独立题啦。那给不知道的人科普一下哦，所谓的托福独立题呢，就是在托福的第一题口说题会问你一些关于个人经验以及意见的问题哦。比如说他可能问你 Describe a place you have never been to but would like to go someday。那考试的时候啊，看完题目之后有15秒的时间构思，然后45秒的时间回答。换句话说，你就是要在15秒内能够想出一个非常有结构、内容又很完整的答案，而且还要能够在45秒内完整的叙述完，不要被卡断哦。所以其实还蛮有挑战。所以我决定今天呢，就到加拿大的街上来问一问路人托福口说的独立题，看看他们会怎么样回答。那我们就出发吧。
今天的影片算是在街上跟路人聊天的形式，那为了让被访问的人比较没有压力，我就没有计时，也会适时的引导一下说话者，大家可以当做听力练习。不过如果你是托福考生，我在画面上也加了一些小评语，注解一下以托福评分的角度来说，回答上有什么加分跟扣分的地方。那我们就开始来看题目吧。
Describe the most impressive moment in your life.
Probably just like a high school graduation. Didn't think it was gonna happen. Got it there.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Do you recall any of a specific memory that was impressive to you?
Impressive. I don't know. I can't really you ask me and I can't think of anything impressive that's ever happened.
Okay.
I think when I moved into Canada. Yeah, because I was working in Mexico in the bank, in an amazing bank in Mexico. I just realized I want to do something different in my life. I have my apartment, I have my job, I have my car, but I was feeling to do something different, maybe wake up and going again and have that energy. So I moved in here without know anyone, just...
You left everything and just
I
came
leave
here.
everything. Because I always dreaming to come to Canada for the forest, for the nature. All the people immigrants, we have a lot of opportunities here.
That's
They are
true.
very accessible.
Comparing to America.
So for me, my most impressive moment in life, I'm actually a tap dancer. So one of my most impressive moments was being involved with that and touring across Canada. So I was part of this program called Art Starts, and my studio that I used to go to, the Vancouver Tap Dance Society. We toured part of that program. Throughout that course of time, there were so many experiences, and one of those experiences was touring across Canada, being part of the opening ceremony as well for the Vancouver Olympics as well.
No way! In Whistler?
The Winter Olympics in Vancouver, I was part of the opening ceremony as well.
Oh, that's like a memory of a lifetime.
It was a lifetime memory.
I think it was my first time in Europe. I worked in chalet in Switzerland in an Alp for 3 months.
Oh, you worked there?
Yes, I was a volunteer in a Girl Guide camp. And it was the first time I was in Europe, the first time I saw snow, the first time I met another international people.
So when was that?
It was 2017. I was 25 at the time.
Oh.
And it was really a learning moment in my life, and it was a very great experience I had. And the Alps are beautiful, so I could work but see all the Alps and the mountains and the nature there, so it's
kind of like a trip paid for.
Yes.
It might be a cliche, but the most impressive moment in my life was the birth of my 2 children. So my son is an 11-year-old and my daughter a 9-year-old. Well, it's the best thing that can happen to you, in my opinion. It changes your point of view on a lot of things, and it makes you, look at your own parents in a different way, looking at life in a different way.
Really?
You start to worry a lot more, I must admit, but, at the end of the day, it gives you a great feeling to be a dad, and hopefully you do the best you can.
那今天的影片呢，由托福的考试机构 ETS 赞助播出。如果你之后想要申请美国、加拿大、英国、澳洲、纽西兰的学校，托福是被100%的学校接受的英文检定成绩哦。所以你考一个考试就可以在各大州都申请学校。那我这次呢会拿托福的口说题做街访的题目，就是因为其实这些题目都非常接近生活的内容。我当时准备考试的时候啊，就准备了一些题目，比如说像是 我在加拿大生活的经验啊，我打工的生活啊，或者是我喜欢看的书等等。在准备考试的过程当中呢，我会重复的去思考说哪一些主题是我平常想要聊，但是却不确定怎么说的。那在准备托福的过程当中，我算是累积了很多 small talk 的语料库哦，在日后跟人家聊天的时候呢，都有一些固定能够拿出来聊的主题啦。那除了口说第一题之外，后面的整合题呢，除了要回答，也要阅读文章，还有听力课堂的内容。虽然准备起来是有点挑战，但是其实啊，真的是你出国念书的基本功哦。换句话说，你考这个留学考试，其实真的是在累积你日后出国留学的实力哦。那如果想要确切的知道如何透过准备托福来累积英文实力的话，之前我有做过一支我大学的时候如何透过托福准备英文，以及英文弱底的话要如何出国念书的影片。这2支影片呢都有很完整的分享哦。总之，推荐托福给所有想要出国留学的同学咯。Talk about one way your personality has changed since you were a child.
I feel like I used to be, still am, kind of like very introverted, and I feel like now with the industry that I'm in, I've kind of had to like force myself to become more extroverted and more outgoing and just like talking to people, and it's so fun to just like interact with different cultures and different people across the world. So yeah,
I was very like insecure. So for example, when I moved in here was a big step, and I said, if I can do that, I can do this. For example, the English, I never been in the school, so I was thinking like, now if I learn English without go to the school, sometimes I'm watching video, listen music. Now I can do it now without, for example, French. I want to speak French too.
Oh, that's
I
awesome.
also
Wow.
Japanese.
You learned Japanese?
A little bit.
So in elementary school is actually, believe it or not, a little more quiet and reserved. And one of my most memorable experiences in life was actually coming out. So I'm gay. And that actually really helped me to open up to become who I am now as a person. So I'm much more social, much more outgoing.
Yeah.
So that's a huge change.
Yeah, so it's kind
in
of like
life.
you're comfortable
Exactly.
with who you are, so your personality really
It just really
comes
shone
out.
through, yeah.
So you weren't actually reserved, it's just that because maybe you were more scared of...
Exactly. I think it was just a little more scared, reserved, and then that just pushed it over the edge.
I think when I was a child, I wasn't much talkative. I wasn't an outgoing person. I was very shy. And when I started to travel abroad and have to speak for myself, now I'm a very outgoing person. I make jokes, I talk. Even my English is not good, I'm not afraid to try it. And this was the biggest change in my personality.
Yeah, and it definitely helps with language learning too.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm a very social, outgoing guy, but sometimes I worry a bit too much. And for me, my struggle has been, well, you're a positive person, but don't make it too hard on yourself. So try not to think in the worst case scenario, but try to see, the positive side of things. I did worry a lot, I still do, but now I know how to deal with that. Even though I'm a really positive person in the opinion of a lot of people, I tend to make it too hard on myself.
Some people think life in modern times are better than older times. What is your opinion?
Hindsight is always 20/20. I think a lot of historical things happen terribly that we can learn from so that we don't repeat them. I do think there's always going to be history made though. So I guess just like modern times, there's a lot of cool things that we have now that make life a lot easier, but at the same time, maybe we're not taking things as well as we used to and not appreciating as much in this day and age.
I was playing soccer with my friends in the street, playing cards and stuff like that.
Good memories.
Going dirty, broke my arm and stuff like that. But right now, all the people there are using cell phones and they don't...
Everyone's in their world right now.
They don't enjoy everything. For example, I was sitting here and I love to sit here enjoying all this.
The leaves are so beautiful.
Yes, and everything is gorgeous here. And I love it. For me, I'm glad I can live the past and I live in that kind of moment with my brothers and my mom and the birthdays without all that technology, going dating with the girl in the home and hey, can I?
Yeah, enjoying life at the present moment.
And now we celebrate it in cell phone. And I don't want to see you. And then it's I love it because we have this I don't know how you say I learn about the past and I can use it for the future.
There's so much hatred going on. There's so much going on. So it's really hard to say, if life is better now or back then. I mean, we just happened to be in front of this. I mean, this just happened. The protest for Iran. Like there's so much hate in the world. So it's kind of, that's a tricky question.
Yes.
That's a tricky question if like here...
Because it's not black and white.
It's not black and white. It's a very gray area. But, you know, I think life has a lot more to progress on.
Yes.
So I don't know. That's a tricky
it's
question.
Really
That's a tricky question.
In the past, people say it was good, but we had way more inequality, way less human rights. Like a girl like me, Latin Brazilian, would never have this opportunity. Like 50 years ago, anyone that born the place I born could be here right now because they had to like be moms and stay at home and only do what the men in their lives would say to. So even though now it's not perfect, I believe it is better than the past, and the future I believe it would be even better.
Oh, that's a tough one. I'm not too sure about it. Some luxuries my children have, I'm pretty happy for them that they grow up in this time, but like I said, it makes you worry a lot more about the things that are happening in the world, like COVID, the environment, and of course the war in Ukraine and everything we worry about with the whole world right now. So I'm not too sure. And the digital developments, my children are iPhones already and on tablets all day. There's a lot of possibilities, but there's also a bit more, worries about that as a parent, I must say.
我们收工了，我们要去 Happy Hour。
啊，真的哦？
对呀、
我们要去那个加上 Happy Hour 了。
我们就选一家高级的 Happy Hour。今天我请客，
好，
我请客，
好。
小助理。
那你要跟大家说，就是你今天访问了这么多人，然后只有2个人拒绝你，其他人全部都是。
真的，我好开心哦！不觉得太好了吧？收工了，来 Happy Hour， 还有 Waterfront View。我们在 downtown 拍了一天，要吃饭了。That's about it for today's video, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye bye. 忙哎，忙着吃。